All right, at this time it's 8:29. Let's welcome in Mr. Jack Shorrock. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, so here we are. You're a senior, right?
Yeah, I am in these strange times.
Right. Yeah. So are you cohort A or B?
I'm B. It's kind of notoriously been the less active cohort, but that's okay. I'm making do.
Okay. Okay. Well. So tell me, what was it like getting back on the campus?
Ooh, getting back on the campus, I actually had a free period first, so I didn't get the nice welcome and I didn't get a complimentary mask, but that's okay.
Oh,
Each of my classes only had, 6, 7 people in it, so I honestly liked it. It felt more like one on one. I felt more attentive almost, especially in my math class, believe it or not.
oh, wow. That's interesting. Yeah, I can imagine it would be kind of a different environment with the small class setting like that.
It really
Huh.
is.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me, let's talk esports this morning. So you've got this club on campus, and everybody that I've talked to about you coming on has told me that you're a rock star, and this club is awesome, and it's just you're. Who told me? Oh, it was Becca Coles said Jack is the most active club on campus with what you guys are doing. So tell me about Esports Club.
I mean, yeah, we really try. So actually, funny story. When it was first being created, it was just an idea. It was really, started as a passion project. And there was the club meeting where all of the returning clubs and the new clubs, all of their presidents would come to present their club to Mr. Mack and Becca and a couple of the ASB members. So at the last minute, I sat in on the meeting. And once everybody left, and Mr. Mack was like, "Hey Jack, what's up? You got a question or something?" I was like, "Okay, I've got an idea. I'm just, a little embarrassed to say it." Then they're like, "Go right on ahead." And so I presented the idea for Esports Club, and they were just all in. And it was like Mr. Mack and Becca's support on that felt like that good, start off support, I'd say. And so, yeah, I mean, since then, we've just been doing as much as we can. And ever since the beginning, we've wanted Esports Club to be very community based. That's been the center of it. That's why we've invited other schools, and we pick up tournaments where we do like new players getting involved and stuff like that. So yeah, it started then, and since probably fifth grade, I'd say, I've been making just like little videos, just like on my phone or whatever smart device I have. So I wanted to use that for like social media. I wanted to be the social media person. Um, so yeah, like all of a sudden, I just switched the work ethic switch on and just went full on grinding. And so basically, for people that don't know, esports is competitive video games, and where people can compete in a certain video game with certain rules, a certain bracket for prizes, whatever people want to go for, and whatever we decide to make the actual prize. We've held two big tournaments so far. As you can see on the screen, yeah, that's the bracket for the most recent event that we did, which involved Templeton, Paso, and Atascadero. Atascadero. We had 8 teams there, and it was super, super fun. I commentated the whole thing and invited a bunch of people on, and the winners got $100 for a prize, and it was super cool.
All right, so I'm going to stop you right there. So we've got three schools competing in this tournament, and the three schools had a total of 8 teams, right?
Yeah, out of all the 3 teams, there was 8 total teams.
Okay, so basically every school has 2 teams or 3 teams.
Yeah, give or take.
And are you playing one game, like one type of game, or
So
how,
per tournament, yeah, it's one type of game, but the club itself does all different types of games from various different platforms.
and so how do you guys determine which game you're going to play at the tournament?
Well, after we finish an event, we kind of go into brainstorming mode. So basically, our kind of workflow is once we finish an event, we think of games that invite the most amount of people or events that invite the most amount of people. So that the game that you'll see most often on our account is Rocket League, which is that game right there. And the
Okay.
reason we like that is just because it's a super it's definitely very competitive and is very much based on the player's skill. So, and it's also cross-platform, meaning anybody who has, like a PlayStation or an Xbox or a computer can play on the same thing. So we usually choose things that are cross-platform or that a lot of people want to see.
So in a post-pandemic world, are you guys in person at a venue playing together, or is it all virtual?
So it's been all virtual, which is one big reason why I wanted to go so hard with this club because like with COVID, everything's getting locked down and there's all this tension between so many people. So I just thought video games can be a lax thing, even if it's a competition, it could just be for fun and just a little kickback thing. So I just see esports as this unifying thing, and it's not something a lot of people are familiar with around here until now.
Mhm.
So yeah, we're doing all virtual right now, but as you can see on our most recent post, there's a Beat Saber event that we're about to send out some signups for, and that's going to be in person. We're hoping to hold that at the Templeton Pack.
Okay, that's Beat Saber Showdown. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that one.
All right, let me pull that up here. Where is it? This guy.
Yeah, so that's actually me in the photo. I just took that at a tunnel at the school on like
Yeah.
Sunday, and then I edited it on like Photoshop on my computer. But yeah, as you can see, I'm wearing a virtual reality headset. So this game is a virtual reality game. It's
Awesome.
just a simple like rhythm game where like blocks come at you and you slice them with lightsabers, but it's really cool.
So, have you gotten any pushback from the staff or the teachers about you bringing illegal lightsabers onto campus?
No, not yet. I didn't
Okay.
specifically ask them to do that. I mean, it was on a Sunday. But as far as the event itself, I asked Mr. Aston himself, and he approved it as long as I reserve a spot at the school.
That's awesome. So cool. Yeah, that's a great photo. You just set your camera on a tripod and ran over and took it.
I actually had my sister do it. She's going to college for computer animation. She's done photography her whole life. So I was like, can you take a photo of me? She was kind of reluctant to do it because she just got her wisdom teeth out recently.
Oh,
But
geez.
thankfully, she came on campus, just took it with her phone. I converted the files and I edited it on my computer.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a great shot.
Thank
How
you. Yeah,
funny.
I'm kind of proud of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so you're diving in. You're the social media guy for the esports club. How big's the club?
Yeah, so I mean, as like the president of the club, we've really built it from the ground up. But right now, I mean, it's a debatable statement, but I'd say we're one of the biggest clubs at the high school right now. I think we've got over 40 members in the Google Classroom right now.
Really?
Yeah, just since just from minor promotion on the actual Google Classroom itself because we have the Google Classroom, and if you've ever heard of Discord, we've got that too. That's kind of mainly where we communicate.
Okay.
So we've got that with probably more people too.
Okay. So your tournaments that you guys have, like how long does it last? Is it an all day thing? Is it a multi-day thing? What does that look like?
So far, we've it's been a 1 day event. So for the recent tournament that we did, where like I casted the whole thing, we had a format. The actual time where there was games going on was like 5.5 hours. It's all
Wow.
on our YouTube. If you would want to like check that out or something like that, it's just THS Esports Club. Um,
Let's see here.
but yeah, the full tournament's on the YouTube, and that lasted 5 to 6 hours. I think in total, I was sitting down at my computer for about 7 hours talking the entire time. So it was definitely exhausting. And the day after, I definitely had a bit of a sore throat, but it was still so fun. It was definitely our biggest event.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, it's I can imagine I do the show for 2 hours and 2 hours of talking really takes it out of you, but 7 hours is that's quite a task.
Yeah, it is a lot. I mean, I've gotten used to, thinking on my feet and stuff with mock trial, being an attorney and things like that. So I think some preface kind of helped that out, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm trying to find your esports club YouTube page to pull up.
Yeah,
Let's see here.
it sometimes autocorrects to the Esports Club. So if you scroll to the top after searching it and says search instead for THS Esports Club, you'll see it there.
THS Esports. THS Esports Club.
But yeah, like the club has really, led me to meet a lot of people. Like a couple people in this tournament that we did about a month ago. There's two members of a college in Vermont that participated, and now we're involved with Sonoma State right now, who want us to help out with their big Rocket League event that they want to put on. So we're hopefully going to be announcing that soon as well.
Okay, so when you say you're involved in it, it's their tournament that they're putting on, but they're asking you to be involved by playing in it, or
Yeah, so I mean, it's a little bit more. So they saw that, from this event, they saw that, THS Esports put it on. So,
Mhm.
somebody graduated from Templeton last year and is going to Sonoma, and then he got me in touch with somebody else, and so we've been talking back and forth. So he said that they wanted to put on a Rocket League event with a bunch of California high schools, and they wanted me to get all of these players together and kind of, make it a bit of a partnership, you could say.
Sure. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Wow,
really cool.
how fun. So when is that supposed to take place?
They're looking to have it at some time in April. My
Okay.
guess is it's going to be after spring break, but we'll see.
Sure. Okay. So what are your plans for the esports club? I mean, you're graduating. It's obviously going to continue. Are you going to kind of act as an advisor at that point, or what's your plan?
Well, right now we're just trying to, get as much foundation as we can. It was full steam ahead, and uh, Farley and Mr. Mack are like really involved, and they really see potential with this club. So they actually offered me a chance to convert it more from a club to an actual CIF like organization, and it was something I was thinking about from the beginning. And it's something I really wanted to do, but after I turned it down because I feel like we didn't have the foundation and we didn't have enough support. And people would have to have a certain grade, have a certain citizenship thing, and be drug tested for video games. And I think it would just take the fun out of it initially. So that's
Yeah.
something we're looking for maybe 1 or 2 years down the line. But for right now, we're just trying to invite as many people as we can to get involved. And then I'll hand the reins to somebody else, and they can take it in their own creative way.
Yeah. So what do you plan on doing after high school?
Interestingly enough, I went to Northern Arizona University in November, and I talked to one of the media guys that just kind of runs the operation there, and I talked to him about esports, my plans for it, and what I'm doing with the club already. And I finished up the conversation, and he was like, "Dude, I want you doing that here. I want you here in my building." And I was like, "What?" And I was sitting there taking pictures of like the NAU esports logo, and I was like pointing out the different hardware that they had and everything. So he said that, and I was blown away. I was like, "You want me for your esports stuff?" And he was like, "Yeah, come lead my team." And I was like, "Wow, okay." So yeah, I just recently got accepted to go to NAU and
Awesome.
for creative media and film. And so I'll be in that major working in tandem with like the esports department on building it more, because they like us see the huge potential for it,
Yeah.
and the huge like scope of things.
Sure. Yeah. It's a $1 billion industry at this point, and so it's only getting more and more popular, right?
Yeah, especially with people now, because I feel like everybody, like the way they consume media is very fast and
Hmm.
um, very rapid. So, this compared to maybe like a baseball game, as much as, I like baseball, it's just so much more high speed and intense. Man, not
Hmm.
intense in the same way, but you got to react to stuff so fast in video games. So it kind of matches my generation, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's cool. So your sister's in the creative arts, and you're in the creative arts.
Yep.
Are your parents in the creative arts?
No, they're very different people actually. My dad, he's worked in like sales related things, and he's got a bunch of companies on his hand right now. And my
Awesome.
mom went to college for nursing and has been doing various health related things from then until now, pretty much.
Well, that's great that they've created a house environment where you and your sister have the ability to pursue creative passions like that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool, and she's been able to work in tandem with our club too. Like I asked her to create our logo. We've got a special eagle logo. It's actually the profile picture for a couple of our things, and she actually created that for me. So yeah, we get to kind of work together, and I think it's pretty cool.
So who created that?
The eagle logo itself was my sister Lily Shorrock.
Okay, let me see here. That's this guy right there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's her.
Uh, that's cool.
I think we
Yeah,
might
that's
have made
really
a post about it. If you want to see it in a bigger scale, yeah, there it is.
this guy right there.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
There's my mom commenting sweet logo because she knows her kids made it.
That's awesome. Dude, look at that eagle. That's killer.
Yeah, I'm really fond of it.
That's cool.
We're
I
hoping to
want
put it
that.
on some merch soon.
I was gonna say I want that on a shirt.
Yeah, so believe it or not, this club actually led me to get sponsored by a company called Gamerware, and they're just like a small like clothing company directed towards gamers, you could say.
Hmm.
And so being an affiliate, I got an email the other day saying, "Hey, it's your time to create some merch with your brand." So I was like, "Whoa, okay." So I just submitted that logo and a bit of an idea for a shirt.
Yeah.
And hopefully soon people can start buying T-shirts through their website, and maybe we can look into making hats because we have an embroidery machine at the school that we have access to for like the engineering students.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll get to do that. So yeah, I mean, we've got big ideas, and I've got big aspirations and hopes for this club for sure.
Yeah. So how do you keep yourself organized?
Ooh, I mean, one thing with the club is that I just keep on moving and I just keep on working on things. I'm constantly editing pictures and videos for it. But honestly, as far as organization, it's all it's all mental. I mean, I've got our plans and stuff written down with bullet points where everybody can see it in our Google Classroom.
Mhm.
But I usually just keep it, like mental. The only problem I have with this club is that I can't. I'm not very good at communicating like my like what I want people to do and my ideas for them. So I'll just try to think out loud in front of them because that's the best that I could do.
Yeah, no, I think that's the way to do it, right? Create that environment where everybody can just throw things out and not be judged and have that collaboration, the active collaboration, if you will.
Yeah, that's what
All
we've
right,
really tried to do with meetings where it's very discussionary, and I'm really fond of it now.
that's great. All right, I got a couple more questions here. Your gaming console, what do you game on?
All right, so there's a bit of a war between PlayStation and Xbox, but I personally play on Xbox if we're leaning to the side of things, but I also play on PC as well.
Okay. Okay. So Xbox and PC, and then for your creative digital stuff that you're doing, are you PC or Mac?
I'm definitely PC for that one. I'm pretty sure you're using a Mac, so I don't want to throw any kind of shade, but I'm very much a PC and like Windows side of things.
Okay. All right. And so Adobe
Yeah, yeah,
products.
I'm using all the Adobe programs. I'm in graphic design too, so we got to take home like computers made for this. So, like my computer, I don't have the money to upgrade my computer yet. So, and Adobe's super expensive. So, I've just been using the school stuff and transferring flash drives between computers pretty much.
So the school gave you a computer to use at home?
Yeah, for all the graphic students. So, I've just been, using it for school and also my club.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, so okay, what's your schedule like? Your class schedule right now?
So I've got kind of weird like free periods. Like on white days, I have a free period first, and then I have a full day. And on green days, I have two periods, and then I have the rest of the day off. So it's kind of strange. But usually, I mean, like I'm always trying to kind of pack my weekdays. So I think right now with this new schedule, I just you know go to school, and then once I finish, I come home, work on homework and esports, and then I go to either work or I go to like soccer, and then I'll come home
Mhm.
and continue to work on like esports or something like that.
So you're doing soccer as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
that just recently kicked off. We've got a game next Tuesday actually against
awesome.
Atascadero, which is pretty exciting.
That is cool. So how many hours a day are you spending on esports?
Um, Before now, I was probably spending on average, probably one or two. I mean, I don't know. There are some days where I would work like 4 or 5 just because I was
Mhm.
so into it. But other days I work only one just because of time and stuff like that. Like if my mind ever sits still, I think about esports and I think about what I want to do. Like it's always on my mind.
Now, how much time do you spend a day actually gaming yourself?
I actually spend less time gaming than working on the club. I usually play with my buddy who lives in Minnesota. So we got on at night usually, and we'll just run a quick couple games with each other just so we can catch up and stuff like that. We play it recreationally.
Yeah. Now you guys are obviously talking to each other the whole time you're doing it.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean we've got like our headsets on and our
mhm.
microphones hooked up and everything.
Okay, so music or no music playing in the
Oh,
background?
that's a really good question. If I'm playing with people, I don't go music because if I'm hearing, you got your game audio, you got another person talking, you got yourself
Yeah.
talking, you got music, and it's too much. I can't multitask very well. I just like to
Right.
zone in on one thing, so I can't do that very well. But like if I'm running something where game audio isn't too much of a necessity, I'll just run either, some like lo-fi or a bit of just like rap in the background to I guess
Yeah.
hype me up a little bit.
All right. And so do you listen to music when you're actually doing work? Like
Yeah, I
esports
do.
stuff?
I mean, I try to listen to stuff without lyrics, or else I'll focus
Mhm.
on the lyrics and try to like sing the song and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I've been actually listening to a lot of rock recently. Not a lot, but like a YouTuber that I follow puts out his own music content, so I've been listening to that recently, and so it's
And
gotten me a little bit back into the guitar.
who's that?
So his name is actually like his name's actually Harris Heller, or his YouTube channel is like Alpha Gaming. He's just a pretty cool guy. He's been in the streaming business for a while, and he's got really good advice on taking your social media persona and acting on it as if it were a business instead of just like a passion project.
Sure. Yeah.
And so yeah, he creates copyright free music on Spotify, on his website, and it's called Stream Beats. It's aimed at streamers. They just came out with a rock album called Demon, which I'm pretty fond of.
Oh, that's cool. Huh. That's crazy. Okay, so do you talk about how your streaming capabilities work? What platforms do you use to put it all together and put it out?
So I use all PC for this. I really have to make do with what I can just because of my computer not being extremely powerful. So I have a built-in, not a built-in, but I've got a software called Streamlabs OBS, and
Mhm.
Streamlabs is a separate thing, and OBS is a separate thing. But they basically just went and put it together in one program. And basically, how it works is you can just set up scenes, and then there are things within that scene. So you can see it on our like the entire Twitch stream that we did is on our YouTube. So basically, like there's the scenes, different screens. Like you can get it to display "Be right back," or like an intermission screen, or like an in-game screen, and you can put various little things on top of it. So if you just set up the scenes with different displays in there, it's actually pretty simple. I didn't explain it very well, but all you do is set up the scenes and then hit live, and you got people in your chat. And it'll show when they subscribe or follow, and yeah, it's saved all on our YouTube.
Yeah, no, I looked at using Streamlabs OBS for this show, but ended up going with Restream. And Restreams, I mean, it's simple. It does the trick. My biggest issue is connectivity and Wi-Fi living out in the country. That's the hard part. Is I'm on a Wi-Fi signal that's a satellite, right? So I'm
Makes
not
sense.
hardwired in. Are
Yeah.
you on a cable internet?
I mean, my devices are wireless, but yeah, our like home is wired and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. And so your uh your Wi-Fi speed is sufficient for you to be able to do tournament stuff?
Yeah, I mean, the only time I ever have problems if everybody's streaming something. I mean, I live in a family of 6, so and everybody likes to stay occupied with what they're doing. So
Yeah.
if people are watching Disney Plus and watching Netflix and watching YouTube, then it'll kind of tank the internet a little bit. But I just asked everybody to get out of the house on the tournament day, and they're
Yeah.
like, okay. So it was just fine.
That's awesome. How cool. Well, Jack, thanks for spending time with us this morning. I want you to do me a favor and please come back anytime that you have something that you want to promote. I do want to dive more into actual like a game. Like I think what was the game that you said that you're playing, the Saber?
Oh, Beat Saber, yeah.
Yeah, so I want to talk more about that as you guys get closer to that. Do you know when that's going to take place?
I'd say a bit of a ballpark. We're aiming to have the actual event before spring break, which is
Okay.
mid to early April.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Please come back on as it gets closer. We'll talk about that and maybe set up some screen sharing capabilities, and you can actually walk us through a game.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to. Thank you for the opportunity and thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you coming on. All right. Have a good day.
Thanks. You too.
See ya.